Okay, here I am again. Coming back. Okay, so I am hoping that this will work. Yay! We're there! Oh,
You got to see my husband in his pajamas.
we did.
You won't forgive me for that.
Sorry about that, Amy. Good morning. How are you doing? How are you
I'm
feeling?
good. I'm feeling okay. I'm on just on day 2, so I'm just a bit snuffly.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is actually it's quite exciting to have something to look forward to because I had to cancel all my other plans for the weekend. So thank you for chatting with me and giving me something to look forward
Oh,
to.
of course. Well, COVID sucks. I just had it. I totally get it. And I hope that you get through it nice and quickly and have lots of movies to watch and lots of snuggles with your cats.
Yes, that's been helping, and yeah, but both me and my husband have got it, so we're in it together. So it feels that helps as well.
Yeah, no, that's a good way. And also, have you had it before?
No, I cannot believe that after 2 years, it's finally got me. But
Yeah,
I
that's how
suppose
I
it was
felt.
inevitable.
But I tell you something. I mean, obviously, it's horrible and everything, and it has been a lot worse. We're actually very lucky to have Omicron, aren't we? At the end of
Absolutely.
it all. But I feel so much braver after I've had it. So the upside is actually I'm doing things again and stuff. So I hope you have the same exciting end to it all, where you're like, actually, you know what? I can go out and see people without worrying about it at all, and so that's quite a good silver
One
lining.
of the weird perks of lockdown for me is that I've always been very like prone to illness. I always caught every bug that was going around. I was always commuting and picking up treats from strangers, giving me all their germs. So lockdown, I think my immune system reset, and it's almost like the healthiest I've ever been. So I suppose I'm fighting fit, ready to take it on now. So yeah, I'm very
Yeah.
lucky to have a good immune system
Yeah,
and
I'm
be back
so the
in.
same. I'm exactly the same because I get everything. And actually, I remember like halfway through one being like, I haven't had a cold yet this year. This is really
So good.
lovely.
But yeah,
Oh,
definitely commuting, tube, train, any of that, people are so happy to share their germs with you. So
yeah.
yeah, I haven't missed that part of things.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, I hope you get better very quickly and yeah, have a not bad one. That would be lovely. But it's just so good to see you. It's been so long.
Oh, I know. I was thinking about the last time we actually got to see each other in person, and that was ridiculously long ago. But yeah, it's so
Yeah.
nice to be chatting with you. I love
Yeah.
I love that we can still follow along with everything. So I've been excitedly watching all your stories with all your dental updates and Biggie, and she's grown so much lately. It's
Oh,
amazing.
thank you. They are actually, she's got a friend over playing in the garden, so if they get noisy, please, sorry
Um,
about that. But yeah, I just love to kind of have a catch up and find out what you've been up to. I mean, last time I saw you, you were the editor, the editor. I quite like that.
I like that.
Of Love Sewing, and obviously a lot has changed since then. So, would you kind of give
Mm.
us in a nutshell of what you've been up to over the last few years?
Oh, of course. So, Love Sewing I started at Love Sewing in 2015 and I ended up doing nearly 5 years there. And not many people knew. So, I live in Leeds and our offices were in Stockport. And I loved my job so much that I would do 2 hours there, 2 hours back commute. And eventually that takes a toll on you. So, after 5 years, I was like, it's time for something new. So actually, my background is just in publishing. I've worked in all different kinds of publishing fields, and I decided to go into content production for the banking sector. Completely left sewing behind. It was so scary and ridiculous to suddenly leave this wonderful world of fabric and threads and everything. So I went to HSBC and worked for them, and then I was like, "What have we done?" So I was talking with the lovely Sue, who is the managing director for Simplicity in the UK, and I knew her through the magazine. We'd worked very closely together for 5 years, and we ended up developing a role for me at Simplicity. So I started there last year, so that's been amazing. So I'm a full-time employee of Simplicity and their brand ambassador, and I work on their marketing campaigns. And it's wonderful to be back in sewing, to be back working with the community. It's a whole different kind of challenge because I'm usually used to having some kind of publication at the end of it. But yeah, it's nice. So I get to run all the social media accounts for the UK team, and we work closely with the Australia team. So we go all the way through Europe and Australia, and then I do like emails and blog posts and sales and all those kind of great marketing things. And I work with all our lovely retailers who stock the patterns. You know, Simplicity patterns are, you know, in hundreds of retailers around the UK and Europe. So we try and support them, help them make sure that they're showcasing all our patterns and the newest designs. So it's a really lovely way to get back into the sewing world. In case there's any confusion, I'll quickly add as well. So Simplicity Limited now own Simplicity Patterns, New Look Patterns, Vogue Patterns, Butterick, McCall. So they're kind of like a parent company now, because one company bought the Simplicity New Look, and then they also bought the McCall, so now we're all under one.
Oh, I didn't know that. So the big four have become the big one.
Yeah, so we're the big one, like the big six now, if anything. But yeah, so we also distribute Burda throughout Europe. So yeah, it's really great. And then there's another new pattern brand coming soon, which I think people have heard rumors about. So yeah, it's complicated to explain, but really it's still delivering you the brands you love. If you love Simplicity, you can still keep sewing Simplicity. Just means we're a bit more efficient.
Yeah. Oh, that I'm so pleased. I mean, you know, I love the whole kind of, right, I'm going to do something, you know, sensible with my life and do all this, and then you're like, wait a sec, I loved what I did. So I'm so pleased that you've gone back, you know, the curve's gone back round. That is brilliant. And also it's so lovely because you've always, you know, whenever I think of like a Simplicity pattern or the big four or anything, I do go and check out what you've done, because you've always sewn them since the beginning, haven't you? Like you've done India as well, but it's really lovely that that's something that you're really passionate about and you're working in. It's wonderful.
It's kind of like amazing to think they're the patterns I learnt with. My very first, I went to like an evening adult education course, and we learnt to sew a pattern, and it was a Butterick pattern. And then now I work with them. So wonderful, and they're really changing now as well since the merger. So it's becoming like this whole new company. So they've been going, you know, Butterick's been going 180 years, Simplicity's been going 90 years, and they keep reinventing themselves, which is quite clever. But yeah, I've always been a big fan. I mean, you know, I sewed lots of indies. I also know how to draft for myself, but I never really have the energy to do that, even though I know how to. If there's a pattern that's already done it for me,
I totally understand. Yeah. Oh, that's so lovely. And are you kind of, you know, still in touch with Love Sewing and everything, because you had a really lovely family of people there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So actually this weekend I was due to be at the wedding of my former managing editor, Kate. So really gutted. Completely understand.
Congratulations, Kate.
Yeah, congratulations, Kate. She doesn't want COVID at her wedding. So yeah. But yeah, still stay in touch with everybody. You know, even some of the other people who've left, we still stay in touch after Love Sewing. But I'm helping. I write a column for them every month now, so I still get to be part of the magazine.
That's brilliant. That is really lovely. Oh, wonderful. Right, I have a question from someone from Romy Kate, which I'm so pleased she asked, because I can't believe I haven't asked anyone this yet. How big, we want to know about your fabric stash. So how big, what sort of fabrics, and we'll do the organising later. Yeah, go on, tell us.
So it's not as big as it used to be. I moved house at the beginning of last year, so I really had to downsize a little bit. But I am a little bit of a hoarder, because I mean, I sew very quickly. A collector, there you go. So I sew very quickly. So there's a high turnover of things, but I also know that I'm going to want to sew something in the future, and I don't mind holding on to it for a while. So I have, if anyone knows the Cowlax units, I'm sure you do, they're kind of a staple in a sewing room. I have 8 boxes of Calax fabric. So one of them is entirely scraps of good sized pieces and twill fabric, but the rest are all sort of divided into different types of fabrics. So I'm kind of organised in that sense, at least. I have 2 boxes of crepes and viscose, so sort of drapey fabric. I have a box, I'm looking at it just to remind myself. I have a box of all cottons. And then I have a box of like coatings, and that's obviously quite chunky, so that takes up a lot of space. I don't have a lot of coating. And then like corduroys, denims, satins, they're all together. So I'm quite methodical with it, but I'm sure people have seen I'm constantly sharing on my stories new fabric hauls. I've been trying to slow down because with the lockdowns, especially when you couldn't go anywhere, fabric shopping was such a great way to spend time. Yeah, trying to be better. But yeah, I'm trying to shop. You know, when you've been sewing a long time as well, and you look back at what you've been making, what you've been wearing. That's why I love Me Made May as well. I try and shop a bit more carefully now. So I know I love a fruit print. You'll have seen me. I have a lot of lemon print dresses. They're my favorite dresses to wear. So now if I see like a fruit print, I have to buy it.
Oh, that is gorgeous, Amy. I love
That's
that.
pretty good. I mean, oranges.
Oh, I love
I'm very
that
happy
too.
with the oranges. So if I'm seeing a fruit print, it's going in the stockpile because there'll be a turnover of eventually my favorite lemon dress that I wear all the time, which is the headshot that I sent you. That dress is going to fade away because I wear it so much. So I'll need another fruit print dress to come in. The other thing that surprised me, whenever I share a photo of me in a plain coloured garment, the internet goes wild. And I think it's because I always make prints. I never make plain. So I've been trying to push myself to buy a few solid colours.
Oh, Amy, I've been doing that for so many years. Every time I say I'm going to get plain fabrics, do I? No. They're just more enticing. The prints are more enticing, definitely.
Absolutely.
And what's your favourite fabric to sew with?
I mean, I love drapey things. So generally a crepe or a viscose, something that is breezy. I've got one of those weird things. I'm very tactile, so I like cool, soft fabrics. And I think they like skim the body nicely. So yeah, I love swishy things. And I think that some people stay away from them because they're a bit harder to sew because they shift around and so on. I started cutting out on my living room floor. I didn't have a sewing room and a nice big space to cut out on, and you just force yourself to learn because that's the fabric you want to wear. So you force yourself to learn how to sew with it.
Yeah, that's very true, isn't it? We all start at quilting cottons and move on to the, the more draperies. But I want to talk about your house. It's so beautiful, and that bathroom.
It's the best room in the house.
I have pinned it for when I finally move to a house I can do up. I'm going to basically just have your bathroom.
That's so nice, thank you. So for anyone who doesn't know, I bought myself a little fixer-upper. So we live in a place called Ilkley, which is in a valley with the Yorkshire Moors on one side and the Yorkshire Dales on the other side. So it's a beautiful place to live. So we thought, right, well, let's have a project then. And we're renovating it all. We've been ripping out some interesting style choices like orange and red wallpaper and some very interesting choices. But we built this bathroom and it is my pride and joy. So thank you so much, Gabby. It's all it's all on our home account. So I try not to spam my sewing people with it, but you can follow my home account if you'd like to have a peek at the bathroom.
Oh, it is gorgeous, and all your upcycles and everything that you've been up to is so lovely.
Thank you. I mean, if you like what I do in sewing, it's pretty much a translation of that. I like colour, I like print, I like a happy house, and I like a happy wardrobe. So they kind of they go well together. It'd be a bit strange if I was suddenly into like grey concrete house, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone, eventually I will have a home account and it will be very colourful too. And I might just surprise people by doing something really bland just to see what happens.
No, don't let her kid you guys. Gabby's got an amazing house. She has this amazing bookcase corridor. I think that's still there.
Yeah,
That's
no,
just like,
it is. It's taken over the whole house though, Amy. It's just
oh, okay.
ridiculous. There's just piles of books everywhere. And of course, B loves books as well now. So it's just,
Oh, good.
I'm like walking through books like a cave of them.
Yeah, the day it falls on you, you might not be so popular with it. But
Yeah.
I think books for me, obviously, with being in publishing, I just love the written word, and I think you can never have too many books. So
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I came over
I
with
feel
Karen.
like that most of the time.
Exactly. So Karen Ball came with us, and both of us from a publishing background, we were like,
yeah, no, I to be honest, like whenever, you know, Stitcher's Brew podcast guest came over, it was actually quite hard to pull you into where we were doing the podcast because everyone just wanted to look at the books. So I was like, you better come early because it's going to take a while to get into the room.
that was such a good time. Yeah, you were the original podcast queen. It was amazing.
Oh, thank you. So, what's your next project? Like sewing, housewives, whatever. What's next for Amy?
So I'm currently I like to work on a few things all at the same time, and other people find that very stressful. But for me, it helps me slow down because I am so fast that I'll burn through projects really quickly. So I have secret tactics to slow myself down.
Nice.
So I am working on, at the minute, a wedding dress, a wedding groomsman's jacket, and then a series of projects for myself. So my brother and his lovely partner are getting married in July. So I'm doing bits for their wedding. And then if there's time, I'll actually make myself an outfit as well, but we'll see. I have lots of nice dresses, so that should be okay. And then I'm making a denim Mimi G style jacket for myself, a little denim jean jacket. And then I'm making, oh my God, what else is cut out? I've got this daisy print embroidered cotton that I've cut out a Gertie style. It's the one with, it's got the square neckline and the little notch in it. So I've cut out a classic vintage dress in daisy print cotton. That might be good for the wedding. And then I don't know if you saw, people who saw my stories yesterday. So one of the perks of not going to a wedding but still having NG in the early COVID days was I did so many 12.
Yeah.
I love 12. This is one of my other ways to slow myself down, is to just enjoy the fitting process and see it like a little puzzle. And so I, you know, make myself one and then assess everything and then try and fix and then make myself a second 12 and see if I've sorted it. Because, I mean, we're all slightly different. I've got things that I need to do every time. So I kind of enjoy that mental challenge. So I spent the day yesterday doing 12. So I'm going to make a shirt dress. I'm going to make a lovely big skirted number. And then what was the other thing I twirled? My brain's gone dead. Something else. But yeah, there's lots on the go, lots coming up.
Is there anything in your wardrobe that you didn't make?
I don't do underwear.
Okay. So, I mean, honestly, you're so prolific. I would love to look in your wardrobe. It must be like a sea of beautiful dresses.
So I have 2 wardrobes because I have so many and I can never get rid of them. But yeah, it's a lovely, like I say, it's so happy in there. There's so much colour and print, and it makes it really easy. Well, hard in a way to get dressed because you want to wear them all. But yeah, it's really good. But yeah, I've never made lingerie. I've made swimwear and that was enough. And I'm like, the lingerie is not for me. But
yeah, it's funny, isn't it, how you find things that are like your go-to, and if you try something that doesn't quite work, you're like, no, someone else can make that.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
And then I used to knit, but then sewing overtook everything. And I suppose I've still got some sweaters and things, but it would be really nice to knit a sweater one day. But if I've got spare time, I'm gonna sew.
Yeah, why not? Oh, I have another question. This is from Lucy, So Essential. Oh, one of our sponsors. So if you could have a sewing lesson with anyone in the world, who would it be? Good question, Lucy.
That is a very good question. So I think in a completely mythical land where time travel is possible, I would go back and like wangle my way into some of the amazing ateliers and like learn from Christian Dior or Yves Saint Laurent or someone like that, since that's not actually possible. Maybe
Well,
time
this is a
travel will be
fantasy question. Yeah.
But do you know how there's those videos that come around and you like go inside the Chanel studio and they just, oh my God, I could watch those for hours.
Yeah, me
All
too.
the precision and just the creativity is incredible. I wish I lived that kind of lifestyle where I could just wear ball gowns all the time.
Oh.
But if not, then I have corresponded with both Susan Kelly and Kenneth D. King through the magazine and through social media, and they're really lovely people. And I know they run workshops, so either one of those, going to a couture workshop. I mean, Kenneth does lots of kind of really weird creative things. Like, I mean, his genius course on Craftsy, as it was, he just teaches in such a really fun way. So yeah, probably Kenneth, because he seems like a good guy.
I'll have to look him up. I don't know him. Okay, so Kenneth
Kenneth D. King.
Kenneth D. King. Okay, I'm a bit behind on
and
that.
He's a New York icon. So a bit like Esme Young, he was a bit like punk and extravagant in the 80s, and then he writes for Threads a lot. He's got books out, he's got a memoir out about his crazy life. And yeah, but his teaching is just so down to earth, and one of the biggest things he teaches you is there's no wrong way to do anything. It's just a different way. And people prefer certain ways, or yes, maybe a way might lead to, you know, some other issues that you have to overcome, but there's no wrong way. So
I like that. That is definitely, that's my way of thinking as well. And what are you watching the Sewing Bee this season?
Yes, I am. So
I haven't caught up on the last one, so no spoilers.
Oh, okay. No spoilers. So yeah, I've been sitting in my sewing room and watching it on the telly, and then my inner pattern detective, I'm like obsessed with figuring out if they've used the Simplicity patterns, and it's really lovely because a lot of them are this year. They're never allowed to say, so don't inundate them with questions because they're not allowed to talk about what they use. But I know, because I've got one of those brains that can remember pattern numbers and pattern line art, but I cannot remember my pin number, and I cannot remember anyone's birthday. But I can quote you out like a pattern number. And like, oh yes, this pattern by that person was released in this year. I don't know why.
That's amazing. I'm really bad in my Me Made May post. I'm always like, I'll look it up and I'll come back to it. And I literally just forget. So a lot of my posts, I've realised, have just said, I'll tell you later, and I never do. And I have to like scroll back through my thing, be like, right, M7, right, okay.
It is tricky with the numbers because one number wrong and you could be telling everybody a totally different pattern.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, I
can't
believe we're running out of time already. I would love to know, so with your house, because obviously I'm obsessed with your house, have you got another project lined up, or is it kind of done?
No. So at the minute I'm sorting my office. So I work in an office and then do all my sewing in the sewing room. So I'm lucky to have two spare rooms.
Office and a sewing room.
It's the cutest little box room. So it's like it's almost like a corridor, but then there's a desk at the end of it. So I'm putting lemon print wallpaper up. So there'll be a photo because proof's in the house as well. But the big plan that we're saving up for is all the downstairs needs we need to knock through the kitchen and the dining room and then make a whole new kitchen. And then my husband wants an island. So my husband is a former chef, and then he got out of that because he didn't want to do all like night shifts and cooking the same dinner over and over and over again. So he just loves cooking. So I get the benefit of a trained chef and then living in my own house. So I'm going to give him the kitchen of his dreams, a lovely big island, and they can cook me all the food.
Oh, you are living the dream. And can he please teach Stephen, because we've got noodles and toast. And boiled eggs. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm a terrible cook. So while he's 3 days ahead of me on the COVID. So I had to cook for 3 days and look after him, and then now I've got the COVID, so he's looking after me again. But he had some ropey dinners while I was looking after him. Thank God he tends to taste them.
I guess if you're really good at cooking, it's actually quite fun because you'll try other people's and be like, I should just do this. So for you, you're like, you're gonna make it better. You might as well just cook every night.
So I find him the recipes, and then I'm like, here you go. This is what we're gonna have.
Oh, amazing! Well done, husband. Very impressed. And is there anything else you'd like to talk? Any plugs or anything you'd like us to know about?
So, not plugs, but I think I'd really love to just say that for people who either haven't tried a Big Four pattern before, or tried a long time ago and been put off them, things have really changed. Things are really changing still. So we are finally increasing our size range. So now we're going up to size 32 across most new designs. That's really good. And then we're looking to get it up to a size 38. So that's long overdue. Mimi G, who a lot of people love her pattern, she's joined the board of directors at Simply, she's a VP, so she's made a lot of changes. We've got very exciting things coming, and changing the envelopes, making the instructions easier, lots of cool things like that. So yeah, maybe give them a second look. Come and have a look at Simplicity McCall's UK Instagram account. Say hello to me, and yeah, that would be really lovely.
Oh, that is really wonderful. I will definitely have another look as well, because all of the things you mentioned are the things that, people have had issues with. And it's so lovely that they're listening and they're changing. It's really, really, it's wonderful. And, the community has done a lot over the last couple of years of getting people to think differently about stuff. And it's so satisfying to hear that big companies are taking it on board and doing it. It's brilliant.
Oh, absolutely. It may be slow because, the whole churn of the pattern business on the big scale, change comes about every 18 months. Yeah. So it started in motion and then you see it 18 months later. So indies are very lucky to be a bit more flexible and quick, but change is coming. Thank goodness. Yes. That's the main takeaway.
Yes, that's amazing. Oh, well, thank you, Amy. It's been so lovely to talk to you. And I'm I'm just so happy that you're back in the sewing world as well, because, you're lost on banking. We need you, not them.
I like it. Thank you, Gabby. This was so fun, and it was so quick. I can't believe how fast it's gone.
Yeah, well, it's a quick unpick.
Thank you.
I've never got to say that before. Yes. I've got to do my sponsor thing, because So Essential, they're so wonderful, and thank you so much for sponsoring Quick Unpick. They're literally a one-stop shop for everything, aren't they? They've got sewing machines, they've got sewing patterns. So for all your dressmaking and sewing projects, they are the ones to go to. And I always, it's my first stop for Gabberdashery as well. It's got everything. And
everything.
I know everything. I know, it's awful, because actually when we talked about So Essential back in Stitches Brew, we called them a fabric shop. I don't know what we were thinking. They are way more than a fabric shop. So yeah, if you don't know So Essential, head there. Lucy is so lovely and supportive, and yeah, she's going to be on Quick Unpick soon as well, so that's good. Yeah.
Oh, lovely! I'll watch that one.
I've got so many lovely guests lined up all the way up till I think September now, so I'm still booking. Wow. And I've got this long list.
I can imagine.
It's crazy. And everyone is welcome as well. It's not about, popularity or anything. Everyone is welcome. So I will get round you all.
That's good. I think they're just so fun. I usually struggle to watch them live, but I love watching them back. They're so good, Gabby. It's a really great series.
Thank you. And also I'm working on my internet, because every time I watch it back, I'm like a pixelated mess. So I am trying to sort that out, because the North London is really bad for broadband. So we're working it out. But anyway. Okay. And also Rainbow Fabrics. How could I forget? My whole stash is full of them. They're amazing. Nice. And also Happy Fabric for their beautiful vinyl. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a lovely Sunday. Get well, and
thank you.
Stay at home.
Yeah. I'll share some photos of my fabric stash too on stories.
Yeah, do. Okay, I'll share that as well. Lovely. And thank you everyone for joining us. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Bye everyone.